Hey guys, what's happening? I think I have internet here. Looks like we're going live anyway. So Anthony Hendrickson coming to you here this Saturday evening. So wanted to jump on here quick. I'm in the process of a 14-day challenge, and what that is it's a 14-day challenge. This is day number 10. So we've had 9 previous days. Doing a lot of Facebook Lives, kind of stepping out of our comfort zone, doing things we don't always do or wouldn't normally do or whatever it might be. There's a group of us that are doing it and been having a pretty good time. Like I said, it's day 10 now, so we're in the downhill slide, so kind of sad. We've been having a good time doing it. So, but anyway, I just wanted to jump on, and we kind of got to sort of pick our topic here anyway. And I noticed that there's a lot of people throughout the week and this weekend, complaining about being tired and kind of run down, things like that. So see if we have anyone that jumps on here. But so if you jump on, feel free to let me know where you're chiming in from, where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and do hashtag replay. You can also say where you're coming in from. It's always good to see where people are at and when they're kind of jumping on and what they're doing, when and why. So it's a little later here than I normally do, but Saturday night, I figured some people might be doing it. So anyway, so back to daylight savings. So we've all been kind of feeling the effects. It was last week, pretty much the same time. So by 2 o'clock on Saturday night, time switches. We fall backwards this time of year, and then you spring forward in the spring. So that's kind of how you think about it. So it got me kind of wondering, everyone's kind of dragging. I feel it too. So where did they ever come up with daylight savings time and why? So I started, I got on the old Google and started looking there because that's kind of what we always do. So what's happening, Matt? Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Good to see you. So I hit Google quick with this question. Why daylight savings time? What gives? And this particular article that I found was giving Benjamin Franklin the credit for it. So turns out that I wrote this down, in 1784, Ben Franklin was the one who proposed the idea as far as daylight savings time goes. It was such an important topic that the U.S. Congress actually did pass this. It's the Uniform Time Act, and they did it in 1966. So I don't think it was the first priority on their list to help old Ben out, but he wanted it to cut down on candles and things like that, and by 1966 they were probably still using those things, but maybe not quite as much as they were back in Ben Franklin's days. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from. So as I was reading this article, kind of looking at this, they had actually 5 things that they said that daylight savings time did actually influence. And so the first thing was car accidents. So apparently a lot of people are maybe tired after not getting that hour worth of sleep or whatever it was, just interrupting people's patterns. So actually car accidents were on the rise. That was the first thing. The second thing was injuries in the workplace. So apparently there's more injuries in the workplace the day after, or I assume it's probably within a day or two, maybe is what they're probably thinking with daylight savings as well. But they were seeing it more so in jobs that were, more sort of labor jobs when people probably should be paying attention, but maybe you're a little bit sleep deprived, or who knows, maybe that was just kind of what they decided that they wanted to blame their injury on that day or whatever it might be. So then I moved on to the third one, and that one actually came back for more heart attacks. Apparently more heart attacks seem to happen, I don't know if it's caused or not, but seem to happen sometime around daylight savings time. So I guess that excuse me, that was a real thing too. And then the fourth one that I found, which I thought was kind of interesting because I didn't know, I had to see what the definition was or what it was, but longer cyber loading is what they called it. Yeah. So I guess that just is the definition for when people are on the internet at work. So a lot more of that goes on around daylight savings. I don't know if it goes up. It probably just is always up. I don't know. I feel like there's enough of that going on anyway. So, and then the fifth thing that they were kind of not blaming, but that happens around daylight savings, was actually headache clusters. So maybe it was the lack of sleep or too much caffeine and not enough rest or what they're normally used to, but it throws people off is kind of where I'm going with it. So they were actually blaming headaches on it as well. So I don't know if take it for what you want. I think people might always be looking for some type of excuse, but we all, I don't know. You wouldn't think an hour really throws you off that much, but every time the daylight savings does happen, I feel like it does throw me off, where I'm like, I never think, you know, because, you know, jet lag and stuff like that, you notice too, especially with me. Once I get older, I kind of notice that, but it's amazing how much an hour will make. So yeah, I just want to kind of jump on here and talk about how it was affecting people and why I think it might be or not, but that's kind of behind. I think it was our buddy Ben Franklin that had a lot to do with it. So we can give him credit, whether if we like it or not, I guess. So yeah, and that's kind of where I wanted to finish up with daylight savings. And now I wanted to talk about something that has absolutely nothing to do with daylight savings, except for the fact that it could be in the future or past or whatever it might be, just a different time, we'll say. I've been talking a lot with my friend of mine, Erin Birch. You guys might know who she is. She's around some of the same people that we hang out with or whatever, and her and I have been having some conversations and some discussions here as of lately, and going back and forth about some things, and we're talking about the future and what could be happening in the future and different things like that. And then these weird things start happening. She sends me a picture of, all of a sudden, for any of you guys that might be hanging around some of the same people we do, a little community, you might know about Baxter Badger, which is he's our number one badger, but she was hinting at the fact that we could be seeing more honey badgers in our future. So with that being said, you know, like I said, Baxter is our number one, but he just might have to make some room, you know, for a couple other honey badgers out there, because that could be a real thing. So I'm going to leave it at that. If any of you guys want any more information on what that could be, or who Baxter could or could not be hanging out with or not, feel free to reach out to me. If you want any notes for today or for the 9 days previous, I'm keeping all my notes. If you want all 14 days at once, you can do that. You can go back through any of my videos or anyone else that's doing them, just for your own good or just curiosity or whatever it might be. So feel free to reach out to me. Best way is probably just go right to my Facebook profile here where this video is going to be posted. There's my messenger button, Facebook Messenger. Go ahead and hit that. It'll come right to my inbox. I will personally respond right back to you as soon as I can and send you the notes or whatever else you need, or something else that if I can help you in any way, I'm more than happy to. So thanks again for everyone tuning in. If you think anyone can get any value out of this, feel free to share it, like it, tell me where you're coming in from. And if you're doing the replay, I appreciate that as well. So have a good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.